Hello YouTube! I'm here to talk to you guys today about feminism. I recently teamed up with my friend Sarah and also Feminist Apparel. They're great and they wanted us to help them make a tag video that encourages people to get talking about feminism and feminist issues, and honestly with all of the Sam Pepper crap going on right now, I thought this was a fantastic idea. First question is, how and when did you realize that you were a feminist? I guess my answer would be as soon as I started reading online about it. I think as soon as I stopped getting all of my information about the world in a classroom and started seeking it out myself, that's when I started realizing that there were a lot more issues than had ever been made apparent to me, and I got really overwhelmed, honestly. First of all, I got angry because these were a lot of things that I wish that I'd been taught in school, because a lot of feminist concepts almost contradict things that we're sort of raised to believe and think. I don't think there was a day that I woke up and thought, today I'm a feminist, and yesterday I wasn't. I think I was always a feminist, but it wasn't until I really started doing that research on my own that I really internalized those values and really started fighting for them. 2. What is your favorite feminist book slash movie slash song slash other piece of content out there? My answer is Rat Queens, Rat Queens, Rat Queens. I've talked about Rat Queens a lot, but let me just reiterate to you why it is so wonderful. It's just so deliciously vulgar and so unabashed about sex and other topics like that that a lot of modern content shies away from, especially when it has to do with women. Not to mention there are 4 female main characters. We don't get to see a lot of female protagonists in comics, especially ones that are as well developed as the characters in this comic. Each girl has her own distinct style and is a fully realized 3-dimensional character with strengths and flaws. It also contains a ton of racial and sexual diversity, which is so important. I think that Rat Queens is so successful and means so much to me because it's just a really, really realistic portrayal of women, of their friendships and their relationships and their lives, and that is just so refreshing to see. 3. Where do you go to read up on current feminist topics? The answer to this for me is not so much where, but who. I have sought out a ton of feminist enthusiasts, and honestly most of my friends are feminists. We all do a lot of reading online, and I make sure that my Tumblr feed, my Facebook feed, my Twitter feeds, all of the places where I go to get my normal news is completely full of people who are going to be reblogging and retweeting and reposting all of the feminist issues going on today as well. I think surrounding yourself by people who care about the same things that you do is super important. It's almost more important, I think, to have those people that you can go to talk to when there's something going on that needs discussing and needs talking about. 4. How do you treat yourself? I probably treat myself the most often by buying books. I buy way too many books, but I don't really feel bad about it because books aren't gonna hurt you. Having more books is not gonna hurt. And I think more so than buying the books is giving myself the time to read the books, because that is the true definition of treating yourself to me, is actually carving out that time to just read. 5. What's the most effective way to explain feminism to a newbie? The thing is, I think that a lot of people are going to react to these types of issues in a lot of different ways, and so I think feeling out what's going to work for someone is really important, but overall the most important thing is patience. Kindness and patience. There was a point in my life where I didn't know about any of this stuff and I had to learn, and so you have no idea at what point in their feminist journey a person's going to be. If you find someone who's willing to listen, use that time to educate. Use it and don't blame them for not already knowing about it. If they aren't willing to listen though, that's a different story, and I'm even still working on what to do in those situations. I don't even know. 6. Fill in the blank. I kick the patriarchy to the curb by always speaking up, I think, is really important. Sometimes it's gonna make things uncomfortable. Honestly, a lot of times it's gonna make things uncomfortable, but if someone is doing something that's sexist or they're doing anything offensive, it's so important to speak up, because they either don't know that what they're doing or saying is offensive and need to be taught that, or they do know and they just suck and maybe at least other people around will hear you. 7. Do you have any feminist YouTubers to recommend? 2 of the feminist YouTubers that I've subscribed to recently that you might not know about are Megan McKay, who is wonderful and does these beauty tutorials that are not actually beauty tutorials, they're more sort of breaking down recent events that happen in the news, and they're wonderful. And also Cheska Lee is great, and I've only just recently found out about her, but I'm loving everything that she does. 8. What is your favorite Feminist Apparel t-shirt? I have a lot of Feminist Apparel t-shirts. I've gotten to work with them quite a few times in the past, and I love everything that they make. I'm wearing one today that I like a lot. Also, if you're wondering what this jingling noise is that's been happening all through my video, Roxy, come here. It's Roxy! I'm puppy sitting today, and she's been just being jangly all through my video. Okay, you want to tell them all the things that I told them at the end of the video? Alright, Roxy, tell them. We're gonna tag Megan Tonjes, and we're gonna tag Rosianna, because we would love to hear their answers, wouldn't we? Thank you guys for watching! Subscribe to Kristina's channel, because she is so cool! Also, go check out feministapparel.com. They are great, and they helped inspire the idea to make this video in the first place. And if you want to just answer the questions but you haven't been tagged, please feel free to do that. Goodbye! Where are you going?